You are listening to Serbian Radio Chicago exclusive, and it is my pleasure to welcome back once again Ambassador Rick Grenell, former ambassador to Germany, former acting director of national intelligence, and special presidential envoy for Serbia and Kosovo negotiations. Welcome back to Serbian Radio Chicago.
Thank you, and greetings from the campaign trail. I'm in Minnesota.
Wonderful. And you've been so active, and we have all been so active with you. But let's quickly talk about the implementation of the agreement. We see that things are actually shaping up really fast according to the plan. The DFC office is open. Our own Jovan Jovanovic was appointed as director. You had a wonderful delegation visiting Serbia, I believe the biggest one ever in history. So tell us about the implementation strategies and where do we go from here?
Well, it won't surprise you, Olga, that Donald Trump, after getting the agreement, immediately says, okay, now everybody's got to get on a plane and start implementing the agreement. So that's what we did, is we immediately went. We've had lots of coordination going on. The Department of Energy has already been to the region to figure out the feasibility study for the new Lake Trump. And we're pretty excited about that. There's just a whole bunch of infrastructure projects. The investment from the American community is more than $1 billion in guarantees. It's going to be amazing opportunity, I think, for the entire Balkan region to move close to the U.S. and to really become better allies and better friends through commerce. And I think that was the whole idea, is let's give young people a sense of economic hope and jobs and economic development. And that's exactly what President Trump thinks is his strength, is turning around economies and bringing the private sector into the situation. I don't think we would have been able to get to this economic normalization agreement if not for a president who just thinks differently. He didn't want to sit at the table and talk about those same old political issues. He wanted to create jobs and bring the American business community and the European business community into Serbia, Kosovo, Albania, the whole region, really. And we're very excited to have partners with the Serbian people and the Serbian government. It's just, as you know, it's a brand new day, and we couldn't be more excited about it.
Now, just a question though, is there any particular influence that the United States needs to implement to hold Pristina leadership accountable to implement this agreement? Because in the past, there needed to be a little more extra pressure, and especially that we hear Albin Kurti and some of his members of his party calling for Albanian Americans to vote for Biden, and even stating that if Kosovo implements this agreement, they will be an economic colony of Serbia in a sense. So how do you comment on that?
Look, we believe that the young people of the region deserve to have hope and deserve to have economic development. We're pressuring all sides. We're pressuring everybody. We want to see economic development and normalization. President Trump believes that that's the way we're going to be able to make political progress, is to first do the economics. And, that's the strength of President Trump, what he's been able to give to the American people in terms of the best economy ever. And his idea was, let's bring some of that energy, some of that, Trump economic development to the Balkans. And I think he should be rewarded for it. I believe that President Trump has worked very hard to be a friend to the Balkans. And let's be honest, Joe Biden had 8 years as vice president and nothing was done. The region was largely ignored. So we know exactly what's going to happen. They're going to go back to their same Washington, D.C. ways. They're going to go back to their same, political discussions that don't give young people jobs. And what Donald Trump is doing is completely upending the process. And make no mistake, you probably hear a lot of criticism about the Trump economic normalization agreement between Kosovo and Serbia, because the Washington types don't know what to do with them. He completely started with job development and business development, and there's a lot of hope and excitement right now for the region. I couldn't be more excited about working with the Serbian government and the Serbian people, Serbian-Americans. They really need to understand that this is a moment that Donald Trump has worked very hard for, and hopefully that they can support him now.
Absolutely. How do you think the statement of the European Union envoy, Miroslav Lajčák, who stated that nothing has been agreed until everything is agreed, and that means mutual recognition, given that Serbia vehemently refuses to recognize Kosovo as a member of the United Nations. And given what we know about France and Germany and the possibility of Serbia even joining the European Union, but Lajčák stated that the dialogue between Belgrade and Pristina only is relevant if it's run under the auspices of the European Union. How do you see them involved in this?
Well, we're as you know, we're not a member of the EU. We're going to let them do whatever they want to do. We're going to concentrate on economic development, job creation. The Americans do it really well, and Donald Trump does it super well. And so we're really excited about concentrating on less talk and more action, and delivering projects that will really benefit the region economically. Both sides are excited. We're excited. It's going to happen, and we'll let the EU continue their political talks in whatever way they want.
And I absolutely agree. You've been on the campaign trail, even with a lot of Serbian-American community. Everybody is very excited about this new creative approach that's never really taken place. I must ask you, though, also in light of the recent terrorist attack that just took place in France, of course, President Trump extended his condolences and support for the French people. There was a conversation happening at the German Bundestag as well, and you, especially as a former ambassador to Germany, they were discussing the issue of Kosovo amongst all the nations in the region having the highest number of ISIS fighters and jihadist recruits, stating that Kosovo poses somewhat of a threat to European security. Is there a wider conversation, not directly connected to this agreement, but wider conversation in terms of how Kosovo plays a part in the national security of all of the nations?
Yeah, look, this is one of those issues that, the reason we've decided to really concentrate on the economics is because I think that we can sit around and talk about political issues, and that doesn't create hope for young people. And so what the American approach is to do is to really concentrate on economic development. Too many young people from the region are moving to Hungary, Poland, Germany. They're leaving, and that's not good for the region. And so we're going to deliver what President Trump delivers best, which is on economic development. And we're going to save some of these political issues for later. We believe, Olga, that when you deliver economic development, when young people have jobs, they're going to be less likely to get into political fights. That's just what we believe. And so we've decided to just concentrate on bringing U.S. businesses to the region and job creation. And I think you're going to see the Americans move pretty quickly. We already are. This isn't just talk. Donald Trump likes to take action, and we're already moving.
And that is why all of us are voting for our president to give him 4 more years to deal with these issues. So as I said, you spent a lot of time on the campaign trail speaking to the Serbian-American community as part of the Serbs for Trump movement. And we are so proud to have you in our corner. And we certainly are in your corner and in President Trump's corner. You've been in Milwaukee. You visited one of our beautiful cathedrals, going to Pittsburgh. So we're all over the place across the country. We have our teams in place, rooting for you, waiting to hear you speak. What do you have to say as we enter this final stretch to our Serbian Americans who are so passionate about President Trump?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Olga. It's been a great pleasure. I'll just finish with, I think Donald Trump deserves everyone's vote. He's worked hard for them, and now we have to have his back. So let's give Donald Trump 4 more years.
Absolutely. We're there with you, and let's win on Tuesday, and we're going to celebrate together.
Great. Thanks, Olga. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.